We are continuing in the math book. This is still book 1. We are up to practice number 4. Multiply 1-digit and 2-digit numbers, and that begins on page 8. So if you turn to page 8 of your workbook, we will get started. Number 1 says to find the product of 93 and 7. And the key word here is product. And I tell you what, I'm going to make my highlighter just a little bit darker. That doesn't show up very well. So product means multiply. So if you see that word, it is a multiplication problem. And I'm going to show you the way that I learned multiplication. So I would say 93 times 7. And that is going to be 7 times 3 is 21. 7 times 9 is 63 plus 2 that we've carried. So 63, 64, 65. So the product for number 1 is 651. Now if you are taking a test that gives you a calculator, you don't have to worry about this. But if you are taking a test, even an employment test sometimes will not allow a calculator, so you need to know how to do these longhand. This is still an important skill. And the TABE test allows you to use the calculator sometimes, but not always. So just depending on the test you're taking. Okay, number 2, I'm going to show you 2 ways to do this problem. I'm going to show you the way that I learned as a student, and then I'm going to show you the Common Core way, because I know a lot of you have heard about Common Core, and there are lots of different opinions on Common Core. It doesn't matter what my opinion is. What I want to do is to help you if you have children at home who may need this help. So I'm going to show you 2 ways to do this problem, and you can decide which way you like. This is the way I learned it. We just wrote the problem down. I move over under the 6 to start this multiplication. 6 eighths are 48. Carry 4. 6 fours are 24 plus 4 is 28. And then you add those 2 amounts and you get your answer. This is the way I still do these problems, because it's the way I learned to do these problems. But I'm going to be honest with you. I like the other way too. The other way is not a bad way if it makes sense to your brain. Now, I'm not saying that we should be forcing children to do, I'm not taking a stand either way on Common Core. I am just showing you 2 different ways of doing this problem. So the other way is called an area model. And let me show you how the area model works. You draw yourself a box and you section that box off like this. And I'll show you how I know to do it that way. Because on the top, I'm going to do, let me move this just a second. I need that space. This is called an area model. Okay, 48 is one of my factors, which is made up of a 40 or 4 10s and 8 1s. So to use your area model, you separate out your terms. 61, this relies very heavily on a place value knowledge. So if you have a child who is struggling with this, I would recommend helping him or her with place value if necessary. If the child does not understand place value, this is going to be very hard. So this is a 60, 6 tens, and a single 1. So what I've done with my area model is to break those numbers down into their place value parts. And if you had 3-digit numbers, 4-digit numbers, you could do this all you needed to. You just draw the number of boxes that you need to fit your problem. So 48 is 40 and 8. 61 is 60 and 1. And then this goes back to that zero trick that we learned in another lesson. So the first thing we're going to do is combine the 60 and the 40. Okay, so that is 2 zeros, and 4 times 6 is 24. So 60 times 40 is 2400. And then I'm going to take, I'm not erasing this, I need the color to be gone, because I'm going to take 40 times 1, and that will be 40. 40 times 1 is 40. And then, let me take the color away. We still have the 40 and the 1. I'm going to take the 8 times the 60. So that's 1 0. And 8 sixes are 48. And then finally, 8 times 1. So we're doing this multiplication to get this number. And then if you add up those partial products, they're called, we're just going to add those up. So you still have to multiply and add, but you add all of those up. And you get the same answer. Okay? So if you ask me as a student which I prefer to do, I prefer the red way. But for some students, and for those of you who have children or grandchildren who are learning Common Core math, they may have to do area models. You may see area models on a test. So I'm going to show you both ways for some of these, just so you're prepared if you see them or if your children ask you to help with that. A lot of my adult ed students say that they want to be able to help their children with homework. And so I'm trying to give you a little bit of an edge on doing that. But the answer is 2,928, and you can get that either way. You can use the area model, or you can do the old-timey way, I call it, of multiplying. I do want to call your attention to something right here, that how these relate. You see that 48? That is a partial product right there. That's the 48 that's right there. This 2400 and 480 match up to this partial product. So it's exactly the same math. It's just a matter of writing it in different ways. And for some children, that blue way will work when the red way never will. So if your child is struggling with how to do these problems, you might show them both ways and let them figure out the way that works better for them. All right, number 3. Allison pays $136 per month for her cell phone and data plan. How much will she pay in 9 months? So we have 136 times 9. And we get 6 nines are 54. 9 threes are 27 plus 5 is 32. 9 times 1 is 9, 10, 11, 12. So with regular multiplication, the answer to number 3 is 1224. Now I am going to show you how to do an area model for this one. So the first thing we're going to do is draw the box. Now this box is going to look a little different because the 9 is a single digit and 136 is the expanded form of that other number. So I have 9 times 100, that's 900. 9 times 3 is 27 and 1 0. And 9 times 6 is 54. You add those partial products and guess what you'll get? If you don't get it, there's a problem. 4 and there it is. The same answer using an area model. Either way gets you the answer. Number 4. Shelley sleeps 7 hours each night. How many hours will she sleep in 1 year or 365 nights? So the way I learned it, I would say 365 times 7. 35. 42 add 3. 21 add 4. It's a lot of hours. Let me show you the area model. Draw your box. Got a 7. And then this is a 3-digit number, so you need 3 sections. You've got 360 and 5. 7 3s are 21 with 2 zeros. 7 6s are 42 with 1 0. And 7 5s are 35. Those are called partial products. Remember, product is multiplication. So we need to add our partial products. Whoops, something went haywire. I know what I didn't do is line it up correctly. I'm being lazy today. So there is a 5, another 5, another 5, and a 2. If you need to, or if your kids need to, put those zeros in, and that helps you keep things lined up the way it should be. So using the area model, you get the same answer that you get with the old-fashioned way of multiplying. Number 5. Terry sells 32 cases of Fit Max nutritional drink. There are 26 bottles in each case. How many bottles does Terry sell? So he's selling 32 cases that each have 26 bottles. I'm sorry guys, I need to keep that one in the blue. Don't want to get us confused. So here's the old-timey way. 32 times 26. 6 times 2 is 12, carry 1. 6 times 3 is 18 plus 1 is 19. Then move over to your 2. You can put a 0 there or just a space, it doesn't matter. 2 2s are 4. We've already used that one. 2 3s are 6, and then we add those partial products. So I am thinking 832. This is number 5. The answer is D. But let me show you the area model for this one. This is a good one to show area model. And I'll come over here to this side to do that. Now this time I have 2 digits multiplied by 2 digits. So we need 2 spaces across and 2 spaces down. So your model will look a little different here. You have a 4 section model where you have 30 and 2 and 20 and 6. 32 times 26. So we're going to say 3 2s are 6 with 2 zeros. 3 6s are 18 with 1 0. 2 2s are 4 with 1 0. And 2 6s are 12 with no zeros. And then add your partial products. So 2, 13 carry 1, 6, 7, 8, and there's the same answer. Either way you want to do it. Number 6. Glenn delivers sod, or it's dirt for the lawn. He makes a 632-mile trip 8 times per month. So how many miles does Glenn drive in 1 month? Well, the old-fashioned way is 632 times 8. 16 carry 1. 8 3s are 24 plus 1 is 25. 48 plus 2 is 50. So I'm thinking C for that one. And you could stop right there. But just to help your math reasoning skills, let's do this one using an area model. So we have a 1-digit number, that is the 8, times a 3-digit number, 632. 632. 8 6s are 48 with 2 zeros. 8 3s are 24 with 1 0. And 8 2s are 16. You still have to add those up. 240 and 16. And so you'll have a 5. Sorry, I'm on a 6, a 5, a 10, and a 5. Same answer, different process. Okay, number 7. Levi finances a new boat for 60 months. His monthly payments are $89. How much will Levi pay for the boat? So we're going to say 89 times 60. And I'm going to bring that 0 down and then start multiplying. 6 nines are 54. 6 eights are 48 plus 5. So I believe the answer to number 7 is B. But let's prove it using an area model. I promise there's a purpose to this area model stuff. It's not just me wanting to pester you. So we have 2 digit by 2 digit, so we need a space with 4. We have a 60 and a 0, an 80 plus a 9. 6 eights are 48 with 2 zeros. 6 nines are 54 with 1 0. 80 times 0 is 0, and 0 times 9 is 0. So you will only have to add 4,800 and 540. Those zeros won't change anything. So you get the same answer with the area model. Okay, number 8. Here's why you need to know how to use an area model, because this could very easily be a question on your test. It says a caterer charges $28 per person for an all-you-can-eat buffet. Part A says to use an area model to calculate the cost for 78 people. So here are the two numbers we're using, the 28 and the 78. So the 28 is 20 plus 8, 78 is 70 plus 8. You guys already know how to do this. 7 times 2 is 14 with 2 zeros. 2 times 8 is 16 with 1 0. 8 times 7 is 56 with 1 0. And 8 times 8 is 64 with no zeros. And here's the question. Which 4? Be careful. Partial products are used to find the final product. Well, let's go ahead and find our final product so we can distinguish between those two terms. And it doesn't matter how you put these down. They're added, so the order does not matter. Just line them up properly. So that's 4. 8 and 6 or 12 and 2, that's 14. 4, 5, 6 plus 5 is 11. And 2. So I'm thinking this is called the final product. And the ones in the box that we found are the partial products. So which 4 partial products were used? We used the 1400, we used the 160, we used the 560, and we used the 64. This question has 4 answers. And if you don't get all 4 of them, you don't get full credit. So you have to pick 4 out of the 6 choices that you had. The answer to number 8 is A, C, D, and F. And then what is the total for 78 people? That's the 2144. Sorry, I've done something wrong here. Or they have. What have I done? Because my answer is not matching up to theirs. 2184. 1400. Oh, you see what I did? This one little error would have cost me the whole thing. It's right here. 520 should be 560. So I'm just going to erase that out, but I will change the color so you can see where my error was, because that's going to change the number down here. So that would be an 8 right there. So 2184 is the final product. And hopefully you caught that and you just couldn't tell me because we can't talk to each other. But if you caught that mistake before I did, good job. I'm sorry about that. It's my lunchtime. Okay, number 9. Cellular Plus offers a financing option of $32 per month for 24 months for new smartphones. What is the total cost of the phone? Well, you can do it the old way. Four twos are 8, 4 threes are 12. Put down a 0 and then start with your 2. 2 twos are 4, 2 threes are 6, and add the partial products. If you want to use the area model, you have 2 numbers in each of your factors. In this one you have a 30 plus a 2. In this one you have a 20 plus a 4. And we are supposed to find the partial products. So 3 twos are 6 with 2 zeros. 3 times 4 is 12 with 1 0. 2 twos are 4 with 1 0. And 2 fours are 8 with no zeros. So add up your partial products. I'm going to go ahead and combine the 4 and the 8 right there because I'm running out of space. 8, 6, 8, 7, sorry. Boy, I'm on a roll. My answers do match if I can just get them on the paper. So $768 for the phone. Okay, number 10. Hannah pays $1,176 per month for her house payment. How much does she pay in 9 months? The way I learned it, you just multiply as this. So 54, 63 and 5 make 68. 9 and 6 make 15. 9 and 1 make 10. So I like the looks of D there. But let's do the area model. Whoa. I'm not an artist, folks. This time we have a 4-digit number by a 1-digit number. So we have 1,000, 100, 70, and 6 multiplied by 9. So there's 9,000, 900, 9 sevens are 63 and a 0, and then 9 sixes are 54. So to get the final answer, you have to add up all your partial products. Again, I encourage you, especially if you have learning difficulties as I do, to add your zeros if you need them to line up your places. Okay. So we have a 4, an 8, a 15, and a 10. And that's 2 different ways that I've gotten that answer, so I'm pretty sure that it's D. Okay, because this video is getting so long, I am going to alternate between the 2 methods to finish these rather than doing both methods for each problem. So I will do one and then the other unless there's a reason to do one or the other. So here's number 11. Justin rents a condo at the beach for $284 per night for 4 nights. What is his total cost of the condo? So since this one is multiplying by a 4, I'm just going to do it the old-fashioned way. It's a single digit. 4 fours are 16. 4 eights are 32. Plus 1 is 33. 4 twos are 8. Plus 3 is 11. So I'm thinking the answer to number 11 is C. Now, if you prefer the area model, you can certainly do that. Number 12. Elliot types 31 words per minute. How many words can he type in 17 minutes? This time I'll do the other method for those of you who may like that better. If you don't want to do this one, that's okay. You do the method that you like. So 30 and 1, 10 and 7 to get those 2 numbers. 3 times 1 is 3 with 2 zeros. 3 times 7 is 21 with 1 0. 1 times 10 is 10, and 1 times 7 is 7. So add your partial products. I'm going to go ahead and make a 17 right there because that's an easy one to do in my head. I'm thinking number 12 is B, 527 words. And if you prefer the other way, that is just fine. I'm just running out of time to do both ways. Okay, Kimberly goes to a fitness class 3 days per week. The class lasts 45 minutes. How many minutes does Kimberly exercise after 11 classes? Now this one's a little bit tricky because there's a number in here that we don't need. I like to call it the junk. It's actually called a distractor. And in this case, it is the 3 days per week. that is irrelevant to the question that we're being asked. We're interested in the minutes that she exercises. So 45 times 11, 1 times 5, 1 times 4, put a 0 down and move over, and then you get that same pattern again. Add those, and you get A for your answer to number 13. The area model will work just fine if you prefer that way. Number 14. Clara makes 7 equal payments of $549 for her new jet ski. How much does she pay for the jet ski? This is my area model time. So I have a 7 times a 549. So 540 and 9. 7 5s are 35 with 2 zeros. 7 4s are 28 with a 0. And 7 9s are 63 with no zeros. So you have 3,500, 280, and 63. And you're going to have to add those partial products. And I'm thinking the answer to number 14 is going to be, not that, sorry, I'm checking as I go because I don't have the answers. D, yes, 3843. I tend to make a lot of mistakes, so I want to double check my answers to you. Alrighty, number 15. An airport has 326 takeoffs and landings per hour. How many planes take off and land in 6 hours? So 326 times 6 is 6, carry 3, 12, 13, 15, carry 1, 18, 1 is 19. So I think the answer to number 15 is A. Number 16. The City Auditorium has 48 rows of 32 seats. How many people can sit in the auditorium? I'll use an area model this time. If you don't want to do that, it's okay. 48 by 32. So this is going to be 1,280, 16, and 240. Add up your partial products, and you will have your answer. Those of you with a calculator have it made on these, but not all of us can use the calculator. When I first started teaching in adult ed, we didn't use calculators for anything. We had to do everything by hand. It's been a long time. So C, I believe. Let me check it. Yes. is the answer for number 16. Number 17. The average person blinks 1,235 times per hour. How many times does someone blink in 8 hours? And this is using the old-fashioned way. Or if you like the area model, you can use it here too. So that's 4, 24 and 4, 16 and 2, 8 and 1. I think the answer is D, 9,880 times in 8 hours. Sam's doctor recommends that he drink 124 ounces of water per day. How many ounces of water should Sam drink in 7 days? And we're on the area model for this one. So we have a 1 by 3. We have a 7 by 124. Let me clean up my model just a little bit. So we have 700, 140, and 28. And we need to add those partial products. So I think number 18 should be C. And finally, number 19. SafeLock Alarm charges $34 per month for a security plan. How much will it cost to use the security plan for 48 months? So 34 times 48 is going to be 32. 24 plus 3. Put a 0 down, and then 4 4s are 16. 4 3s are 12, plus 1 is 13. And I believe that number 19 should be A. If you have questions, please contact your instructor. They will be happy to help you with questions that you have. And I will see you in the next video where we will multiply longer numbers. And I don't believe we'll be using the area model at all. We're just going to multiply all of them the old-fashioned way. So I'll see you soon. Have a great day.